All right, I believe everybody's seated over there. Again, good morning. I hope everybody's had coffee. I haven't, so that's unfortunate, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And as Jared said, I'm Mike Cornett, Director of Agency Expansion for EKSEP. I'll save the long name for it because it's easier to say EKSEP. But I believe the reason that Larry and Jared asked me to moderate this is due to my role with administering our initiative at EKSEP called Teleworks USA. And Teleworks is a brand and a program that's been around now for some time, since about 2010. And in that time, and although we're just one piece of this solution that Jared alluded to, in that time, we've been fortunate enough to leverage the existing connectivity and the improving connectivity in Eastern Kentucky through all the great local telcos that are available to be able to connect about 2,100 individuals in Eastern Kentucky to remote work job opportunities in that time. So we're proud of that, and we're proud of the partnerships with the remote work companies we have and the partners inside the region and outside the region, because without that, none of this could exist and be working like it is today. So as we've hinted around at remote work, show of hands real quick, how many of you here in the room have an idea what I'm talking about when I say remote work? Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, obviously it's not working on remote controls, working on airplanes or anything like that. It is legitimate work that you do from in a region like this for somewhere located outside of here. But luckily I'm a moderator today and I'm not a panelist. That's a role reversal for what I usually do, so I don't have to tell you what remote work is. Our great panelists over here, which I wish you all were closer. It seems like we're a football field away. They're going to be the ones that are going to share the insight with you here today about what remote work is, what remote work means for Eastern Kentucky and the citizens that they impact in their individual roles, and what it can mean for the future. And it's getting bigger, it's getting better. More opportunities exist now, like Jared showed you on the board. More opportunities exist than ever before. We just have to capture them for our citizens in Eastern Kentucky instead of other states across the country. So I want to introduce very quickly all of our great panelists over here. And the format we're going to follow here is, again, pretty informal, but we're going to give each one of them about 5 minutes to speak of their experience with remote work in Eastern Kentucky and elsewhere from their unique perspective. And each one will be able to do that for about 5 minutes, and then we'll hopefully save some time at the end, and Jared can help me moderate some questions for a few minutes before we flip over into the next panel. So first we have Cheryl Ellis, HRBP Manager for General Dynamics IT. And Cheryl, I think you have an excellent perspective on this panel because you're an employer in this sector, and in leveraging all of our partner, Digital Careers Now and their digital innovation hubs, to be able to pull a larger group of people from a more diverse area into your operations than you've ever been able to. So that's a great perspective to speak on today. Next we have Chuck Cottle, who is Lee County Judge Executive. And Chuck, your perspective, I feel, is incredibly important here, being a chief local elected, because you see every day the impact of what remote work can do and is doing in the county that you serve. And by the way, I believe we're up to 217 lifetime placements at our Beattyville Teleworks Hub. And Mayor, thank you for that as well. And you were a supporter before you were judge, Chuck, and you still are, so hopefully we'll keep doing good by you. And last but absolutely positively not least, the three people at the right side in the middle of the table there are three living, breathing remote workers who work in Eastern Kentucky for companies located anywhere but Eastern Kentucky. And I'm proud to say they're three of those 2,100 placements that we've been able to help arrange in the last 9 or 10 years. So we have Melissa Wright from Perry County, who works for Support.com, Yvette Shepard from Knott County, who works for Kelly Connect, and then we have Jeremiah Ford from Leslie County, who works for Support.com since about November of last year. So we're happy to have all these panelists here today. And since employment is sort of the linchpin for this, digital economy employment, I want to start with Cheryl. And Cheryl, would you please give us your perspective on what remote work and connectivity is meaning for your operations in Eastern Kentucky?
Certainly. Thank you, Michael, for sharing information about us. We are so excited to be here in Hazard today and participating in this summit. And I am Cheryl Ellis. I am the Human Resource Business Partner Manager for our company in this particular area. I am based out of our facility in Barberville, Kentucky, so that is, I consider that Eastern Kentucky as well. As you, I don't know how many knows about General Dynamics, but we are, in our particular group, there's 35,000 employees in 30 countries and 400 locations. So that's just a very big picture about us. We are a civilian and federal and state contractor. And so, although we are global, we are here in Eastern Kentucky trying to make a footprint in this particular region. I'm an Eastern Kentucky girl, so I'm all about bringing the jobs to Eastern Kentucky. In Barberville, we have 400 employees, and we have about 40 to 50 employees that do work from home out of that particular facility. What we do in Barberville and what we are doing here in Hazard and also in Cumberland, we operate a contact center concept. We answer questions. We provide customer service for our government client. About this time last year, we were approached by a dream team from Digital Careers Now. That was Rochelle, Stephanie, Sandra, and Kimberly. So our company was approached by that particular group of ladies. And so Jennifer Roberts and I, our site manager, decided to come visit to see what the hubs were all about. We thought that there might be a possibility of being here in this region because we work for a particular client, government client, that does allow work from home. A couple of years ago, I would never have thought that that would have happened. But they do, and we've been successful. We did pilot the program out of Barberville for this client for about 20 people. So we did a pilot, it worked, and they said, let's go. So when we met with these ladies from Digital Careers Now, Jennifer Roberts and I came to visit and to see what they had to offer. And so as we were driving back home, we decided, okay, so where do we start first? We're going to do a presentation to our corporate executives. Where do we start? And so we were pitching for Hazard, then we were pitching for Cumberland. So our management said, let's do both. We said, what? We said, great, let's go. So today we have, I'm going to just, our plan was to use the hub sites. They provide the space, the furniture, and the internet connectivity for our employees. So our government client actually provides the laptop, monitors, mouse, all the soft phones, the headset that's used. And so our goal was to use those spaces for training and stabilization, to get our employees up to speed to a point where they could become competent in their knowledge of the government systems and the content, and to be able to then deploy them to work from home. Where we stand today, we started about this time last year. I think we had our first job fairs here at the college. I believe it was at the technical college. We had 2 in Cumberland or 2 in Hazard, and then skipped a day. We rested a day, and then had 2 in Cumberland. But today we have in Hazard. We currently in this space upstairs. We have 39 people working, and we have 5 working from home. We have 14 that are pending their clearance. We do have these particular jobs, because they're federal jobs, or not federal, we're a federal contractor, they do require a public trust, so it's not like you can apply for a job today and then go to work tomorrow. There is a process. It usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks before individuals can begin training. We have at Cumberland, the Cumberland site, we have 39 working on site and 6 working from home. And 23 awaiting their public trust clearance. And we've got actually a training class that's starting on Monday in Cumberland. And we've got a few people cleared in Barberville, and we're asking those few people, so we don't have a training class in Barberville, we'll say, would you like to drive to Cumberland and have training with our Cumberland folks, and then come back to Barberville to work. So this is a great opportunity. Once the individuals are ready to go home to work, they do have to have internet connectivity. They have to have 10 megs download and 5 megs up. They do have to have a quiet environment to be able to do their work there. It's their work at home is scheduled, just as if they were in their workspace, scheduled lunches, scheduled breaks, be on time, all that. The difference is they can sit in their pajamas and do their work. So they do have to have the internet connectivity and the quiet environment. One of the things, so we've stumbled upon a few challenges because we're at a point right now to where once we have our training class in Cumberland on Monday, we're about out of space because until we deploy more people to work from home, we'll have to use our training environment to be able to keep those employees there. And what I'm finding is they're building such a community and camaraderie there in that space that they, even if they could, they don't want to leave. So we're saying, if you're ready, we're trying to say, go home to work, you know. As we speak, we are also entertaining the idea of going to Paintsville. Our company is saying, why not? And it's like, our heart beats really heavy. It's like, yes, let's go. Because this has given us the opportunity to tap into a workforce that people have not, you know, we've been recruiting around the Barberville area, and there's just so far that people would be able to come and drive and work. But being in Cumberland and Hazard, that's been a good central area for people to drive to get to stay and train. We are planning to hire more people. This particular program that we work for will be hiring probably anywhere from 100 to 300 more people. Depends on where we get them first. We're in all areas. We're working to recruit and hire more people here in Hazard and Cumberland, potentially even Paintsville. We have people in Bossier City, Louisiana, and also in Fort Worth, Texas, McAllen, Texas, other locations. So all of the locations are working and recruiting and hiring. So we've got service levels that we have to meet for our government contractor, and so we've got to get on task and get that done. This next page is blank, so I think I'm finished. So I would be open to any questions later and be happy to answer your questions. And if not, if I don't know the answers, I'll find them out. We try to be as transparent as possible. Yes.
Concept.
Are we into the remote manufacturing concept? Was that the question?
As 5, 6, 7G technology comes online, a young person can live in the head of Sawmill Holler, take the smartphone, program and operate a 5-axis machine tool located in Pittsburgh or Prague.
I totally understand that. We have lots of information technology programmers, engineers that do work from remote. So our company is open to that because it's happening today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cheryl, thank you very much. Judge Cottle?
Well, thank you very much, Michael, and Jared, too. As Lee County Judge Executive, I was elected in January, but for years before that, I was attending many of the conferences around the region to better understand what was going on, because one of the reasons I moved back here was to help the community and to start my own business. And when I got back here, I found issues. One of the terms that I coined at the time was, we can't fix Appalachia till we fix the Fix Appalachia industry. And when I started going to the SOAR program, my heart beat faster as well, because I saw what I thought was a move towards trying to create a consolidated voice for the entire region. And as Michael, Jared, Jeff Whitehead, anybody there will tell you, I am not known for being a cheerleader without a lot of criticism. I have challenged a lot of the issues that have been brought up. I've challenged the way things were implemented. But let me tell you that from my perspective, before I became Lee County Judge Executive, and now that I am Lee County Judge Executive, that the Teleworks USA program is one of the best programs I have seen. And that has not come without me being very critical at times. I can tell you, as Michael pointed out, we have 217 people in my county of less than 7,000 that have jobs today that would not have had jobs before 2016. The access that businesses like yours have given to the people of Eastern Kentucky, I think will fundamentally change our culture, because it has to happen. We're seeing young people who have had to leave, and they don't have to leave anymore. Those who want to still have the opportunity. But now, if they want to work for a company where they have a future, they can start and not leave Eastern Kentucky. Right now, I have a person who, after the last storms in February, couldn't get the local Save-A-Lot. His road was washed out. But he never missed a day of work where he's the IT director for a hospital in Arizona. Teleworks made that possible. In Wolfe County and Lee County, we're seeing an influx of the number of people coming to the area because internet access is making it possible for them to live the lifestyle they want to live in a more rural environment and still be able to work for large companies and still have opportunities for a future. Our biggest problem right now, for me, is I have seen business owners who come and walked up to me and they said, "You've got to quit talking to our workers." Because when you talk to them and you tell them that every single job that is out there on Teleworks USA is for greater than minimum wage, you're making me raise my minimum wage. I have actually had a person who runs a tourist venue who walked up and actually said, "You can't talk to them anymore because I've lost 20% of my workforce because you keep telling them they can work for $10 an hour instead of $7.50 an hour, which I'm paying them." I have had people follow me around Save-A-Lot because I spent several years as a substitute teacher, and so I know all the young people. And I'm walking around and saying, "Why are you working here? I used to tell you have to put your cell phone up all the time in class, and you're sitting here stacking boxes instead of using the skill you have to make $10, $12, $13 an hour." And I have watched the Teleworks program get better and better over the years. Right now, Mayor Jackson and I sat down and talked with a local hub a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to now build private offices in the hub, which, by the way, I thought it should have made at first, but we've had that discussion. We had that discussion before, too.
Right. We've learned and grown. Yeah.
Like I said, I've been critical all along. But because we see the potential here. We have one small business that came to our community, and it's called Vault 606. They have multiple. It's a micro mall is what they want to do in our old health department. The mayor and the judge, we came together and worked together to say, okay, we'll give you a special deal to get in there. One of the venues they want to open is private offices for people to come and work there as well. That will help pay the rent. That'll increase our tax base, which is key to what we're trying to accomplish here. Increase the tax base, increase the diversity of the workforce in the area so that we no longer have to suffer from a boom-bust economy. And it's also attracted other people to our area from Estill County. We have several people have come to our Teleworks hub because that's the closest one they can get to. It has helped us erase our county lines as well, because if somebody comes into my office and says, "Well, I need a little bit higher speed than I can get in Beattyville," we have no problem at all showing them how to get to Owsley County where they have gig up, gig down certification. And the fact that we're creating more jobs now gives us more opportunity to go out and talk to PRTC, to go out and talk to SOAR, to go out and talk to Congressman Rogers and everything. Look at the jobs we're creating. Look at the potential here. Because that's what's happening right now. And my job as county judge, having grown up in Lee County, is to make sure that the local population there understands and appreciates and is informed on the change that's coming at us. Because the reality is we've got huge numbers of people coming to Eastern Kentucky who see the opportunities. And what we don't want to happen is we don't want our locals to be pushed aside. We want everybody to be informed. And that's my goal. And that's why I'm incredibly excited to meet everybody here and to see you guys. Oh, man, I would love to bring you back to Lee County and sit there and say, tell them how it is. And I've got 217 people. But one of the things that if anybody here has any ideas that I would love to hear And Mayor Scott Jackson and I come to these meetings all the time, and when we're not getting lost trying to find them, we spend a lot of time talking. And an idea that I'm going to give him credit for, though I hate to, is I said, Scott, how do we sit there and try to get the young people, because they're tired of hearing it from me. They're tired of hearing one voice say this solution. And strangely enough, they don't like seeing the people they know tell them that all the time either. I don't know if you guys experience that or not. But one of the thoughts that Scott came up with is that maybe what we do, the Vista Corps volunteers, instead of tying them to the school, that we tie them to not necessarily the hub, but we tie them as a county representative to where they can get out there and interact with the kids with the focus of guiding them towards those job opportunities. Because I know in my case, I have people walk into me all the time and say, hey, I'll work for the county. Can you just let me mow grass? And I go, you want a 3-month job where I'm paying you $7.50 an hour, and you can go get a 3-month job for $13 an hour? And I'm going to revert back to my Eastern Kentucky ring. That don't make no sense. So if anybody has any ideas on how we can sit there, and Scott and I, please feel free to call us in Lee County, how we can try to sit there and get more people engaged, and not just the young people, though that seems to be the focus. It is my focus a lot. But we also have seniors that could be better engaged, to get them more involved. Any ideas to say, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried this? You will find us very receptive to listening and trying things. And I look forward to answering any questions you might have.
Judge Cottle, we thank you for that, and thank you again for your ongoing support and your criticism and good ideas when they help improve the things that we're doing and as we learn. So I think the last 3 folks we have up here, as I said, are beneficiaries of all of these synergies that are going on with regard to remote work and the connectivity that exists in our region. So I want to start with Melissa. Melissa Wright, would you please give us your perspective on what all of these things means to you as a remote worker in Eastern Kentucky?
I don't have to pay for a babysitter because I can do the flex schedule when school's going, which means you work 4 hours of the morning, then I get 2 hours off, which gives me time to get them from the bus. Then I can just clock back in and finish my day out. So I don't have to pay for childcare. So I'm able to work. I get bonuses. I just got a $1,000 bonus for not missing a day's work in 90 days. I get raises, better raises than, it's just helped me a lot. I mean, it really has.
I mean, it's a job like any other job.
Yep.
You have to show up, you have to do your job, but showing up is half of it. And for you, just being there, perfect attendance, netted you a $1,000 bonus and an hourly raise. So
Yeah, I mean, you got to be there anyway.
right, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It works out.
Yvette, give us some perspective on what it's like working for Kelly Connect, and also how you came to be connected to that opportunity.
My whole entire life, I've always worked for a secretary. I worked for the state, probation and parole, social services, love those jobs. But to me, I have a hard time driving in the wintertime. I don't like that at all. Have car issues. Then you have childcare. And to me, I was paying more out. You're a lady, you have to wear nice clothes. You've got makeup, hair care, shoes, everything else. You like to look nice when you go. And to me, I would rather work from home and save that money for other things. I have 3 boys. I have 24-year-old. I have 21-year-old. Bless his heart, he is in South Korea for the military. I about cry my eyes out whenever I have to talk about him. But and then I have a 13-year-old, and I have to be at home for him during the day. He can do what he needs to do, but I'm home. I don't have to worry about something happening at home or them calling me from work. Hey, you've got to leave. You've got to come home. There's this going on. There's that going on. Make a decent wage. I make $14 an hour working from home. Getting my pajamas, come from one room to the other. Can't beat that all day long.
Short commute, right?
I tell everybody. I'll be at Walmart checking out and they're griping about their job. I hate this. My legs are hurting. Have you heard about Teleworks? Have you heard about Kelly Connect? go over there, call Teresa Noble. She will help you. Here's her phone number. And I know Teresa's like, oh my God, I wish you'd quit giving out my home phone number, you know. But, you know, I try to tell everybody, you know, hey, I love Teleworks. They have been a godsend for me. They have helped me. I've got money in the bank. I've never been able to have money in the bank, ever. Ever, my whole entire life. I'm 43 years old. I've never been able to have money in the bank. I do have money in the bank now. My boys call, Mom, I need this, or Mom, I need help. Tell me your bank account number. I'll help you out. That's something I've never been able to do at all. You know, and like I said, I've had decent jobs. Like I said, I've worked for the state. I've had really good jobs. Nothing beats working from home for Teleworks and Kelly Connect. Nothing at all. It's the best decision I've ever made.
That makes me feel good, and I hope you feel good about it too. I mean, that's what it's about, is opportunity, and new opportunity with new technologies and new ways of looking at things outside the box, better than ever before. So.
And I work for Apple through Kelly Connect, and they provide all of your equipment, everything, your soft phone, your headsets, your, you know, the mouse, everything. They provide everything for you. So that helped me a whole lot too, that I didn't have to, you know, go out and provide the equipment, you know, and try to get something new, because, you know, you want something that's going to work correctly whenever you try to go for a job. So that's helped me out a whole lot, and I do appreciate Teleworks very much so.
Thank you. Jeremiah, you're up, my friend. Tell us about what you've been doing with support.com and your experience in the digital economy and remote work since around November of last year.
Yeah, so I started working last November.
Slide your mic in just a little bit, please. Thank you.
Is that better? So I was commuting from Leslie County to Chavis to work at Sykes through Frontier, all that. And the mayor of Hyden actually presented the opportunity. Teleworks, support.com. She's an advocate for Teleworks. It saved me a lot of money, a lot of time. I live 5 minutes away from the Teleworks hub, which is located at Technical College for Hazard in town.
Yeah.
Compared to 2 hours driving and then working a full shift. Hundreds of dollars a week doing it. Gotcha. I like her, you know, we work for the same contract, and there's different contracts that have different incentives. You know, there's one for the 90 days, $1,000. I got that 2 months before baby, and $1,000 helps a lot when you have you know, diapers, wipes, clothes, things you got to buy. And in where we live, where a lot of everyone here lives, we live in an area that's been codependent on coal mining. You know, most towns have the same 3 gas stations, the same 3 restaurants, and all the same stoplights. So, $7.25 an hour compared to $11.50, $10, $13, whatever your contract is, makes a huge difference at the end of the day about how thick that wallet gets, you know, and how easy it is to pay your bills, because times are changing. These kind of things, people are going to have to move forward. Technology, we're going to have to move forward with how we look at things. I know change is scary, but you either move with it or you get stuck in the past. And, you know, and Teleworks gives a big opportunity for all age groups. I'm 25 years old. I'm not sure about other people. I work with through my contract. She's like 70, you know. And she said I had nothing else to do, so I decided just to get a job. And like you were saying, it's the 2 biggest reasons why people lose their employment through these contracts is call avoidance, which is basically not taking your calls, doing your job, and then not showing up. Like showing up and doing your job, that's the best job security you could have. And like she was saying, you going in your pajamas, nobody's ever going to know, you know. It's real relaxed, and like they were saying, it helps people with childcare. I get to spend more time with my family. I don't have to commute. I get off work. I drive 10 minutes to go see my kids every day. So convenient for people around here that have this opportunity that they would have never had without them.
Excellent, excellent. We are about 15 minutes, or a little less than 15 minutes before the next panel, but I do want to afford anyone in the room some opportunity to stand up here, come up to the mic in the center if you have a question of any of our panelists, and I'm sure they'd be happy to answer it. I think I know you.
I'm not shy. What I'd like to ask the panel, earlier it was mentioned that, what ideas can we come up with to help spread the word with regard to the Teleworks program. I'm wondering if we're doing anything in the high schools with the senior graduating class. I grew up in Leslie County, and graduating from high school, you pretty much left or did nothing. So, are these seniors being told that this opportunity is out there? And is there anything that the Center for Rural Development or SOAR or any of these other organizations can do to help spread that word?
I want to take that, what we have done at General Dynamics, because once we came to town, before the first person started work, it was a couple of months. But so there was probably buzz about whether we were real or not and whether it was going to come to fruition. So actually, honestly, recruiting was a little slow. And so we had to think outside the box. And some of the things that we've done most recently, on my way back from doing new hire orientation in Hazard on the way back to Barberville, and also from Cumberland on the way back to Barberville, I visited the high schools. I visited Perry Central and Hazard Independent, and I visited Harlan County and Harlan County and Harlan Independent, I guess. Okay, so what we put together, I found out the schedule for when Perry Central and Hazard played basketball, and I worked out a deal with the athletic director. I can't even remember who it was, but anyway, I said, if you'll let us come set up a table at the ball game to get the word out about our jobs, we'll give away popcorn. We'll give away 200 bags of popcorn. So we had some recruiters, a recruiter and myself, that was there at the door, and we had our table and giveaways and our signs and everything, and people looked at us like we had 4 eyes, okay? And the first thing we said was, are you going to eat some popcorn today? And so, yes, well, come over here. Here's a coupon for a free bag of popcorn. Take it over to the concession stand, and let me tell you what we're doing. Give me 10 seconds so I can tell you what we're doing. We have jobs. So that was part of our marketing campaign, was to give away popcorn at the ball games, because our target area was Hazard. So what better to get the biggest group of people was Hazard and Perry Central at a ball game. So we did the same thing at Harlan County. Went to Harlan County, and I had one of our supervisors, Dwayne Craig. Wait, is that his name? Dwayne Craig, one of our supervisors, and he is a machine. I'm telling you, I want him to go to every recruiting event with me. But we gave away popcorn at Harlan County versus Harlan Independent, and so we gave away popcorn. Most recently, I visited with the principals at Perry Central and Harlan County, and really got some one-on-one time with them to tell them what we're all about, what we're doing. These jobs are not minimum wage jobs. We're a federal contract, so we're subject to what's called the Service Contract Act, which designates that we have to pay for a certain job title. We have to pay a Department of Labor wage that's designated for this area. I'll just tell you, it's public. We pay $11.32 an hour. Plus there's money available for benefits, to be used for benefits. Full-time jobs, insurance is available on day one. You start accruing vacation time, all that kind of stuff. So the principal at Perry Central invited us in. We brought a recruiting team. We met with high school seniors. We can't send in their security packet until they graduate. They graduate tomorrow night, okay? So we made job offers, contingent job offers to 13 high school students, and 8 from the community, because they invited the community in as well. So we were able to at least, that we got to start. When you're new in the community, I think you have to prove yourself, and you have to get the word out and use all avenues that are available to you. And so that's what we did. And for Harlan County, a couple of weeks ago, I took one of one of the students that had graduated and is working at our hub, he met me at the school, and we did a presentation to some of the seniors. We didn't really have time to do a job fair, but we did a presentation to the seniors. So you're exactly right, Larry. Getting in front of the people to let them know you're a real company. We're serious about this. Again, I said I'm an Eastern Kentucky girl, and I want the jobs here. We want to stay here. I truly consider this an honor to be a part of taking steps to bring this region out of poverty, because that's what we're known for. I'm one of us, so I can say these kind of things. And it's those kind of things that sometimes we get stereotyped. I talk with people at my corporate office all the time, in Falls Church and Sterling, Virginia, and all over the place. And some of the things I try to do is I try to use good language, good grammar, and not let the hillbilly come out in me. So just because I want them to know I'm a relatively intelligent person, I want them to hear me. I want them to hear what I have to say, not how I sound. So I'm excited to be a part of this, and I just think there's great opportunities for our company and for the people, because to me it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Go team!
Anybody else have any other questions for their panelists?
Hello, my name is Min. I'm from University of Kentucky College of Health Sciences and Barbeque Cancer Center. And this is an amazing panel. I'm so glad I'm here. And because I have a high schooler, and also my second kid is going to be in high school. I'm worried about their future. And, and I'm glad to get to know this telework and this remote work possibility. I'm just curious from the people who come into this workforce, and what will be the career development things for them, or what's the current efforts, how to move them up to higher or better position? I don't know. It's just
Well, our company very much believes in promotion from within, and actually there is a lady that's training as we speak in Barberville, because she was hired as a customer service representative and she has been promoted into a supervisory position. So starting ground up, we had to hire externally, but actually I can even say in the last several months we've had 2 individuals in Cumberland and 2 in Hazard that have been promoted to leads. So that's additional responsibilities, additional pay. So as we grow, there's going to be more opportunities. Yeah. Our company has tuition reimbursement. That's one of the things I always like to, I told the high school seniors about this, and that's, of course, piqued the interest of the principals as well. But currently, this is what it is today. I don't know what it'll be in 2020, but today we have $7,000 per year that's available to individuals who are full-time employees to take advantage for tuition reimbursement. The first round of classes you pay for or get financed, however you do it. You turn in your grades and your receipts, and you get reimbursed for your tuition. So at least that gives you some seed money to move forward, to continue. As you might, I would encourage everyone to go to GDIT.com and take a look at our company. And again, one of the gentlemen that asked about, programming from your home for a company for some place in San Diego, California, or in Michigan or wherever, that's very real, and we have that happening today. So. If someone wants to get a degree in information technology, let me tell you one thing too, and I get excited. I'm passionate about these kind of things, so if I start rambling, I apologize, and if you want to cut me off, you can. But just recently, we won a huge contract with the Department of Veterans Affairs, where we provide help desk support, for Tier 1 help desk support for the employees of the VA hospitals, the Arlington Cemetery, the cemeteries. When they have technology issues, we're first-line support. Now, they are not allowing us to work from home, So that is actually on-site in Barberville and on-site in Bossier City, Louisiana. We have a integrated technology center down there, and so we have between Bossier City and Barberville, we probably have about 500 people that works on that project. So we work 24/7, never close, because if you think a VA hospital never closes. So we get calls from doctors, nurses, technicians, anything happening with their technology that they need first-line support, they call us. In Barberville, Kentucky. I mean, that kind of blows my mind. You know, Hal Rogers said we were going to have Silicon Holler. Well, we've got
There
a
you
good
go.
start.
That's right.
But anyway, that's something I'm touting our company. But we have some great people that is doing that work. Great people. We have a gentleman that's here in Hazard that the next training class that we have for the VA in Barberville, he'll be transferring from here to Barberville because he's got his credentials. He's cleared for that process. He started out here in Hazard. He is having to relocate because he doesn't want to drive, but that is a promotable opportunity for him.
Right.
And
That's
doesn't
excellent.
have to go that far from home.
That is excellent. And I'll say, too, Cheryl's perspective is incredible in this, and they're a great employer for our region and with a great partner in Digital Careers Now. And you know, there are opportunities like that available everywhere, accessible to anyone. You can also check teleworksusa.com to see the employers that we have available in our roster of remote employers, many of whom were some of the numbers that Jared shared up there, and some of the ones that the folks up at the table are working for, too. And the point being, between what I've said, Jared said, our panelists have said, when people say there aren't any jobs in Eastern Kentucky, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. It's a matter of connecting to them.
Mike, one of the key things here is, I mean, you're developing jobs, you're developing a career path within your company, but also you've got aggressive young people out there who have the opportunity to get the skill set here. And if the company is not the path they want to go, and I'm seeing this, they're sitting there and they're shopping around. They now have a skill set they did not have before,
Yes.
and they now have access to worldwide businesses. And there are some sharp young people out there who we might talk a little slow sometimes, but we are capable of doing the job. And I see it every day. People who sit there and would not flourish working and get frustrated if they don't have opportunity. You give them opportunity and they seize it.
Yes, absolutely.
I have to tell you from my perspective, you know, I do have a little bit of twang when I talk.
All right.
And I do help people, and you know, you get there and you're finishing helping, and I'm like, do you have any other questions for me? Where are you from? First thing they say is, where are you from? I'm like, well, I'm from Kentucky. Oh, I would have never thought that. I thought you were from Tennessee or Texas or, you know. So I'm saying from Kentucky, they all try to think we're hillbillies. We're stupid hillbillies. We don't know anything. But they're saying, hey, this lady helped me. She fixed everything I need to do. I couldn't do it. She helped me fix it. She has a little bit of a twang, but she's not a stupid hillbilly. She's actually from Kentucky, and she knows something. So
Absolutely.
I really, really like that when I get on the phone and I can help these people and talk to these people and do things for these people, and they're not thinking you're not a stupid hillbilly. You're actually an intelligent person that helped me. So I do have to say that about our little twang, that, you know, they do see something potentially
Absolutely.
really great in us.
And you're proving it to the world. So everybody, please give a round of applause for our panelists up here today. An excellent job all the way around, and we thank you so much for your participation in this. And I believe we're going to have a changeover now, Jared, so pass the baton back to you.
Hey, let's take a 2-minute break. If you want to grab a coffee, fill up water, we'll get our panel switched out and we'll get right back on talking about kind of the next level of businesses and how they leverage connectivity.
Yeah.